Hey everybody, how you doing? Good day to you. Good Monday to you. It's 10:59 p.m. in the East, which means that it is 1 minute to 8 o'clock in Oakland on the West Coast. And without any further ado, I'm going to explain exactly what's going on as far as much as I know. I received an email from this man, Alistair Cook, representing the Oakland Cannery, and I'm going to read to you precisely what it says, letter by letter, and we'll discuss it. And hopefully I can reach out to Alistair. I did last Friday. He was tied up schedule-wise, so I couldn't get him on the show then. And I wanted to do a live stream Friday, but other matters got in the way. So here we are. This is the letter I'm reading out loud to you that Mr. Cook sent to me. Greetings, Ms. Lauren Blanchard, Jessica Bartholow, and Audrey Momoh. Regarding meeting request. Attached notice of violations and statement of opinion regarding diesel generator emissions. As you know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I emailed you back in September 2021 requesting the mayor of Oakland and Senator Nancy Skinner's office for support protecting the Live Work studios here at the Oakland Cannery. As you know, the Oakland Cannery now has 8 of 20 studios occupied and only 11 of 32 residents left. Obviously, the health and safety concerns have overwhelmed this community, and recognize that the city legislation is not protecting the residents, and we need help. And for those of you watching this and wondering, just what the Oakland Cannery looks like, right? Hey, Eric, how you doing? Here is a photograph of the Oakland Cannery as presented to me by Alistair, and that's it, okay? And I will continue. The mayor, Rebecca Kaplan, Oakland City Council at large, member who's also running for Alameda County Supervisor, and the city attorney's office drafted legislation back in March of 2018 that sought to prevent cannabis facility use in residential studios. Let me repeat that. The mayor, Rebecca Kaplan, and the city attorney's office of Oakland drafted legislation back in March of 2018 that sought to prevent cannabis facility use in residential studios. The city issued violation warnings along with the Bay Area Air Quality Management Department, in which they allowed 8 diesel generators to continue operating at 24-hour daily refueling twice-a-day cycles, only to incur continued days of violation. The city administrator's office stated they share our concerns and are looking into all avenues, but only of which includes the cannabis permitting amendments made in 2018. They cannot promise outcomes and only will apply the facts as to applicable laws. It is fairly obvious that our landlords, Green Sage, have no intention of adhering to the regulation, and now it is obvious that more than a few cannabis companies have knowingly violated the regulations. I can't imagine at this point how the city can think warnings are having the intended effect. I understand why the mayor's office was willing to expedite this protection plan from Ellis Act eviction, but these landlords have no conscience to obey city rules and regulations. However, in my opinion, it is time to send a clear message that the city has every intention of enforcing the protections over Live Work studios. What keeps happening underneath the radar is unethical, and the city should shut down these diesel generators and pull all permits until the city administrator's office clears all violation penalties and fines. The Oakland Cannery currently has 3 more commercial cannabis tenants out of 4 that are knowingly occupying residential units. We have seen city inspectors on location. We have environmental professionals that have documented the diesel generators operating for over 20 months, and still there have been no major courses of action taken opposite violation warnings. By not enforcing the regulations when there is express knowledge of the violations, there is a danger of setting a precedent and nullifying the law. It was our understanding that the ordinance stated that any cannabis building that removed residential units would have their permits revoked. Green Sage has clearly ignored this ordinance and continued quite effectively clearing out the live-work units and have not been held accountable. The city council agreed that these protections needed to be implemented, but without enforcement, they haven't changed a thing in regard to the loss of affordable housing. This matter is urgent. Over 50% of these units are empty, and several are being used as cannabis break rooms, office space, and short-term crash pads. I suspect without some intervention by city leadership, they will all be vacant in the near future, and the protections that are put in place would be rendered useless. Having the mayor and Senator Skinner here would send an impeccable message to the cultural arts community of Oakland. We have visited with multiple council members on several occasions, on several separate occasions, but they continue to have their hands tied and cannot enforce the support necessary to protect our homes. We need city leadership support now and a meeting at your earliest convenience. And that's where I left it. And that's, as I'm reading it, from Mr. Monroe. And so where we are is, thanks, Eric. Where we are is, first of all, some basics about the Oakland Cannery from, a simple standpoint of location, right? Where is the Oakland Cannery on a map? And that would be a good question. It is, I'm going to get it for you right here. First of all, you would say, what is the Oakland Cannery itself? And it began life in the 1930s as a fruit cannery, hence the name, the Oakland Cannery. And before eventually hosting haberdasheries and other trade-related businesses. It has the Oakland Cannery Collective as part of it, open studios, gallery as well. And it's called the 55733 Cannery. And it was started by Mr. Monroe, and it says in the early days of artists at the cannery, Mr. Monroe recalled that the city of Oakland didn't know what to do and tried to shut down the building. It wasn't a live work space at the time, he said. He had to go down to the city council and get them interested and work out a deal. We really had to fight for the space. The city council promised that if we would do some specific things to make the space livable, we could stay. Gradually over the years, Mr. Monroe and other artists, reports the website, worked to make their studios more habitable. Quote, at first, I only had a very basic setup, he says, a small kitchen, a bathroom. It was a gradual process. I used wood-burning stoves for heat, lots of hot water for the tea kettle, and on occasion some meals. And then he made upgrades in 2008, and which he describes as another round of upgrades, and it led to a creative flourishing. The upgrades concluded seismic retrofitting, fire sprinklers and fire doors, updated electrical systems, heaters and hot water, and other modifications to bring the building up to code compliance with City of Oakland fire and safety regulations. The building's management company, PAMCO, conducted quarterly fire inspections and abided by the Oakland Rent Adjustment Program. Annual rent payments increased only by the maximum allowed. And from the outside, the cannery appeared to be a purely commercial building. Within, however, this combination of safety and stability encouraged a unique symbiotic phenomenon between Oakland arts and industry. Legally permitted artists' live-work studios churned out creative work upstairs, while mixed-use commercial business operated on the ground floor. Businesses such as City Leaf and the Wayne Forest supplied exotic tropical plants for offices and special events. Tants provided delicious Mexican catering, and the back warehouse area hosted various shipping and logistic operations, handling everything from mattresses to bulk clothing, resale. And then upstairs, they had creative endeavors like for writers, fine artists, performance artists, videographers, musicians, and a vintage clothing business. And that was the upgrade in the 80s. So it was a pioneer. And they describe themselves as a group of artists, writers, painters, sculptors, musicians, and performers that together seek localized policies to protect, engage, and enhance art and cultural activities with support for community and social equity. And the goal is to develop a solid foundation that protects Oakland's culture, to enrich and beautify the environment, while forming alliances to educate the public about the process and history through cultural platforms. And so, as far as what the update is regarding where they are, that's a good question. I think out of the blue, I'm going to call Alistair and see if I can snag him on this right now. I don't like to do this, but sometimes you got to do things you don't necessarily like to do in the process of getting information for people, right? So let me see what I can do here. Boom. Probably get an answering machine.
Hello, you've reached the cell phone of Alistair Monroe. Please leave a message.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Alistair, Zinni Abraham. I'm actually live now. I thought maybe I'd catch you out of the blue. Not for a gotcha moment, but really to get an update regarding where things were since you sent me the email Friday that I said I'd read that day. And I apologize, but life got in the way, so I'm reading it now. And it reads like you've got a little bit of a pickle on your hands here. And I'm wondering if you've gotten any response from the city. I doubt it, but it's always good to ask, right? If you get this, my number is 510-517-7565. Thanks. So anyway, I left a message with Alistair to find out, from his perspective, what's going on. And I promised I would show you as well its basic location. And I didn't do that now, did I? Let me do that so you can see, where it is located in respect to its neighborhood. And in near the Coliseum. So here, through the magic of StreamYard, I will stop the screen, share this screen part here, and go to the map. And voila, there it is. It's in the heart of East Oakland, as you can see, and not far from the Coliseum. This area, this jurisdiction is technically belongs to Oakland District 7 Councilman Retriever Reed. It is only approximately a block. See, from the Coliseum itself. Oh, and I believe we have Alistair. Mr. Monroe, this is Zinni. This is Zinni.
So I apologize. I'm at like a little work meeting function right now, and I was able to email you back. Can we connect Wednesday, and I'll have even more info?
Yeah, sure can. I'm doing the video live I was talking about now, and I just thought out of, I thought, hey, maybe I can call him and snag him and maybe get some more information for my viewers real quick, and we can follow up later. How's that sound?
Yeah. So tell them we were denied the request for the mayor to meet us.
Why? What? Today?
Yeah. So Jess, I sent you that in a reply. And they all pointed it at Greg Minor to solve the issue.
It's always back to Greg Minor, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's bullshit. It's absolutely, it's unbelievable that they would put the burden on him, on his shoulders, as we've been working with him like on a weekly basis, and hadn't been for us, we would have been kicked out a long time ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm waiting. I wrote a quick draft response that I'm waiting for my colleague to give it a little one look. I'm going to reply in the morning, and then once that goes, I will BCC you.
Okay.
And that way you're kept in the loop, and then let's talk live on Wednesday.
That sounds good. Hey,
available day or night.
Do me a favor for those people who are just hitting this for their first time. Don't take my next question the wrong way, please, but it's just a matter for learning. Why should they care about this issue?
Because it's a historic landmark. In 1970s, my father pioneered the process to make it legal live work artist studios.
He sure did. And go ahead.
And I mean, we have notarized, paperwork from the planning department, and the mayor for basically approving this building in the green zone for cannabis. Gave us our walking papers, because they didn't think that the cannabis developers or developers for cannabis were interested in evicting tenants. That's what Rebecca Kaplan and the mayor said. So there lies a big red flag. That's why they did an emergency change with the legislation. But it didn't do us any good, because it was just a Band-Aid.
So let me get this straight. They made these decisions on a whim as opposed to regulation.
On a whim to protect the residents from being Ellis acted.
As opposed to making sure, and because what I hear you saying, correct me if I'm wrong, is it sounds like they said, okay, this couldn't possibly happen to them, so we're going to do X.
Correct.
Okay, I just want to make sure I got that right.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's gentrification at its finest, right?
Yeah.
So while we're here breathing, they green-lighted our building for cannabis, and now we got stuck with the headache, which is fighting the landlords, and it's been a brutal 6 years.
And all this is happening in the middle of the pandemic.
And the pandemic got even worse, because they started stressing and harassing the tenants, and that's why we're down to over 60% of the tenants' residents left.
Where did they go?
They just moved elsewhere, other studios, other states. Some had some were married, some had children, and it's too volatile, the situation. So we're literally, out of 32 residents with cats and dogs, we're down to 11. And out of 20 studios, we're down to 8 occupied. So let's talk more. We can get into all of the goods on
Sure.
Wednesday when I have a little bit more free time.
No, I appreciate the time too. Yeah, and Wednesday, what time works for you so we can make sure the viewers know. I'm wide open.
Anytime after 10 a.m.
Your time, which would be, why don't we say, can you do 12 noon your time, which would be 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock my time?
Perfect.
Okay, so that's 3 o'clock Eastern, 12 Pacific, noon Pacific on Wednesday, folks. Pack your lunch and come back for part 2 of this live stream. Wow, it shocks me that, because to me this is also related to the whole issue of warehouses and people living in them, and it seems like the city under Mayor Shav has never quite gotten right this whole matter that led to the ghost ship fire at one point. Am I wrong?
Well, it's very true, and it's unfortunate because the ghost ship, basically bulldozed all, the majority of warehouses, and that's why they green lighted them for cannabis. But unfortunately, the one building that had all of a trifecta of permits was the Oakland Cannery.
Mm-hmm.
And my father living here, I was his primary care, came over to Oakland to protect him, and he unfortunately passed away 2 years into the process from the stress, and the dementia got the best of him. But it was truly the stress of him losing his home, and you could only imagine.
Yeah, I'm here helping my mom, so my heart goes out to you. I'm sorry that happened.
And so I basically had to cut off my entire life from San Francisco and start fresh from 2017. And once the landlords purchased this building under the radar, all of a sudden we were given envelopes on where to send the rent.
Huh. Out of the blue.
Out of the blue. And then we were threatened with eviction from the landlords from Colorado.
Well, I thought we had a just cause eviction ordinance.
Well, they don't see California law as being pertinent to them.
What about even Oakland law? We make so much noise.
They have total disregard for it.
Oh.
And we'll get into more when we speak.
Oh, where's your council member? Isn't this Treva Reed's area? Isn't she running for mayor? Lauren Taylor.
He's been here several times, but every council member's hands are tied. The one thing that is true is unless the city administrator sees wrongdoing, they won't do anything about it. But we have a mountain of evidence that Greg Minor and we're working with, and they're trying to hold the landlords accountable. But it gets sticky, of course, with the city attorney and how to navigate through this.
Sounds like to me the city attorney is not being helpful.
The city, well, we don't know that.
Okay.
And there's some things that I can't, speak because of an ongoing lawsuit we have.
Oh, okay.
But also we're working with the city administrator's office and Greg Minor to expose, and there's violations that have been issued, multiple. And those violations we need to stick and red tag the building.
Yeah, it seems to be the number one priority should be maintaining your homes intact. Since we're I don't know that we're out of the pandemic, among other things, because there's another variant,
Right. And we've got state-of-the-art grow facilities underneath us that are about to go in full swing, and there's no environmental impact on these facilities. They need to be operated by diesel generators because the building doesn't have enough infrastructure for PG&E to power up and be completely on grid.
This is an economic development problem without an economic development office to solve it. That's what it sounds like to me.
Quality control issued our landlords a violation but stated that they'll continue to be in violation until they have the proper power. Now, we're questioning because is that going to be within 30 days, or should we just go ahead and wait another 2 years?
Whereas if the city understood how to solve the power problem for them, which the city could do, it would have been done by now, right?
It should have been done the minute that 90 days after the generators came in for emergency use only, and they just turned a blind eye and allowed those generators to stay here.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So to be continued.
You got it, my man. I'll see you Wednesday at 12 noon. You got it. See ya.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Bye. So there you have it, folks, straight from the horse's mouth. That was Alistair Monroe explaining the situation in Councilmember Taylor's area, actually. And should reach out. I wonder if I can reach out to Councilmember Taylor and see if he has some comment to make about this this problem. Of course, hitting him out of the blue, but hey, you know, good old Lauren. And I said it was Treva Reed, but the demarcation point is near there, and I should know better. Anyway, I didn't. Hey, people make mistakes. Okay. All right.
The wireless customer you are calling is not available. Please try again later.
Well, and no way to leave a message. I'll have to text him. So, folks, there it is. There is the situation as it stands. He said that he sent me a follow-up. I didn't see that. Oh, now he did. Oh, no wonder. He sent it to me while I was doing the show. He says, "Hello, Zen. I just saw a post about us speaking tonight. If so, I apologize. We never confirmed our date or time." No, we didn't. Could we be scheduled for Wednesday? Cool. He says, "In addition, we received a response from Jessica Bartholow, who denied our meeting request. I will be responding tomorrow morning. How does Wednesday work for you?" We worked that out. So then I just got a text from Councilmember Taylor, saying, "Hey, Zen, what's up?" And I'm going to have to get back in touch with him right now. Okay. Everyone, remember, Wednesday, live stream, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. See you there. Same bat time, same bat channel. Live long and prosper. How's that for all the pop culture you probably want for a Monday night? All right, I'll talk to you all later, folks.